What if I tell you that you can save up to $50,000, look younger, and avoid major surgery? How would you like that? I'm Dr. Konstantin. I'm a facial plastic surgeon and New York-based facelift expert. And in this video, we're going to talk about all those things and how to make it happen. Well, as you have figured by now, in this video, we're going to be talking about facelift alternatives. And facelift alternatives can help you save up to $50,000 or sometimes even more. Facelifts are very expensive. They can make you look younger. And of course, you're going to be avoiding major surgery, getting a much smaller procedures. Sounds too good to be true? Well, let's talk about this. Number one, volume replacement. We all lose volume in our faces. Unfortunately, the fat goes away from our cheeks and seems to be traveling somewhere else in our body where we definitely don't want it. But the face starts appearing saggy just because the cheeks start looking flat and all that skin starts coming down and forming the gels. So the solution for this is just to put volume back into the cheeks, and it works great up to a certain point. Of course, if you take something like that too far, the cheek's gonna start getting fuller and fuller, and that can distort the face, make it look completely different, and this is not what people want to do. So as an alternative to facelift, volume replacement is great, but it only works up to a certain point, and after that, instead of making you look better and better, it starts making you look worse and worse. The second one is lifting without surgery. A thread lift would be a good example of such procedure, which is surgical in nature, but not exactly surgery. We make a small incision or poke through the skin with the needle, usually in the area of the temple, and then those special wires are threaded under the skin, and wires have hooks to them, and those hooks catch the gels and elevate the facial skin. Now, typically we use 3 or 4 of those wires in order to elevate the face uniformly, and the result can actually look great. Now, of course, there's some downside to it. And the first one is that this procedure is not for everybody. If the gels are very heavy or somebody has a lot of skin laxity, elevating all that skin up towards the temple would just start causing wrinkles and skin folds. And that's something that most people would not like. The second downside of this type of procedure is limited longevity. Unfortunately, typical result would last maybe for a few months, up to 6 months, and then by a year it would be practically gone. A lot of people are quite disappointed going into it because they like the result, they like their face when they look in the mirror, and then after a few months they see everything start sagging again, and then they just go back to square one. So that's something that you should know before you go into a thread and do the thread lifting. And number 3, energy tightening. Those are devices collectively known as energy devices, and they consist of thermos that uses thermal energy in order to tighten the skin, Altera that uses ultrasound, and many other ones such as Morpheus, HIFU, and so forth, which use radio frequency to tighten the skin. Now, the basis for this tightening is that the device delivers energy to the area under the skin, which causes some damage, and your body heals that damage by laying out collagen, and collagen tightens up the skin. Sounds like a good idea? Well, it actually could be. For some people, they can achieve a nice result with those tightening devices, but of course, like all other type of non-surgical treatments, you can get only as much of a result with those, and once you try pushing it a little too far, once you try to tighten the skin a little too much, it could start having a negative effect, and your face actually might start looking worse, not better. So what's the answer here? If you're looking in a mirror and you're unhappy with how you look and you feel like you want to get a rejuvenation procedure, so should you save up all your money and just get one of those much cheaper alternatives? Or you should just be saving up for a facelift and just get it done. So what should you do? Well, there is, of course, no single answer that works for every person. Now, if your facial aging comes mostly from the loss of volume, volume replacement with fillers or fat grafting would be the best procedure for you. If you feel like you need to look good for a specific event or during certain time in your life, you want to look your best, thread lift would work beautifully well for you. And if you're going to be happy with the limited amount of tightening that the energy devices can provide, that's going to be great, and that's something that would definitely help you to avoid bigger surgery that a facelift could be. So depending on your goals, depending on what you feel like, and depending on what your facial aging process is like, all of those three alternatives would work for you, or you might need a facelift. And I would strongly recommend consulting with a plastic surgeon who is an expert in facelifts, and here where you would get your answer. Thank you for watching this video. This is Dr. Konstantin, and if you'd like to know more about facelifts, facelift alternatives, or facial rejuvenation, please come to my Instagram or website, and I'll be happy to answer your questions if you leave them in the comments.